In a world where scrolling through endless streaming options feels like defusing a bomb blindfolded, Netflix just lobbed a cinematic grenade with A House of Dynamite, the Kathryn Bigelow directed thriller that hit screens today, October 25th, 2025. If you're the type who binge watches Doomsday Docs while munching popcorn, this one's engineered to keep your eyes glued and your pulse racing until the credits roll. Or in this case, until the ambiguous fade to black that has everyone debating whether it's genius or a glitch. Directed by the Oscar-winning force behind The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30, this film doesn't just revisit the specter of nuclear Armageddon, it straps you into the decision-making hot seat, making you question if humanity's built a fortress or a farce. With an ensemble cast that could command a UN summit and a real-time structure that's as taut as a tripwire, it's no wonder early buzz is exploding across social media and review sites. Let's unpack this powder keg of a movie from its chilling plot to the real-world echoes that make it feel less like fiction and more like a wake-up call, all while sprinkling in some logic to ground the hysteria and humor to lighten the existential load. At its core, A House of Dynamite thrusts us into a nightmare scenario. An unidentified intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, is detected arcing toward Chicago, which has 18 minutes until impact. No preamble, no geopolitical buildup, just raw, unfiltered panic as the US military and government scramble. The film unfolds in 3 interlocking acts, each rewinding slightly to shift perspectives up the chain of command. First, we're at Fort Greely in Alaska, where ground-level officers like those played by Anthony Ramos and Greta Lee monitor radars and attempted intercept with ground-based interceptors, GBIs. It's here that the human element shines. One officer is distracted by a personal call, another fumbles protocols under pressure. Logically, this setup makes sense. Nuclear systems are designed for speed, not second-guessing, as a secure second strike capability was meant to deter Cold War foes like the Soviets. But humor me, imagine your office Zoom call turning into a Dewey launch back debate. It's like that awkward group chat where no one knows who's typing what, except the stakes are planetary extinction. Shifting to US Strategic Command, the second act ramps up with high brass portrayed by Tracy Letts and Jared Harris, dissecting options amid flickering screens and urgent briefs. They rehearse these drills 400 times a year, as screenwriter Noah Oppenheim revealed in interviews. Yet the film logically underscores how rehearsals can't account for real chaos. A feverish kid at home, a marital spat, or cyber glitches hacking satellites. It's a bias toward action baked into the system. Once the domino tips, restraint feels like surrender. And for a dash of dark humor, picture these unflappable generals quoting protocol like it's a bad improv script. We did everything right, right? One asks as if seeking Yelp reviews mid-apocalypse. The climax pivots to the White House, where Idris Elba's affable yet burdened president grapples with sole authority over the nuclear football, that innocuous briefcase holding codes, casualty estimates, and a menu of doomsday options. Rebecca Ferguson's deputy national security advisor fumbles her phone through security, a relatable blunder that humanizes the horror. Jonah Hauer-King's aide hauls the football like a cursed artifact, and Moses Ingram and Jason Clarke add layers to the ensemble's frantic deliberations. Bigelow's choice to portray everyone as rational, no villains, no idiots, is a masterstroke. As Oppenheim explained in a Netflix Tudum interview, it's the best-case scenario to expose systemic flaws. Even saints in suits can't outrun the insanity of mutually assured destruction. Logically, this mirrors history. Presidents from JFK to Reagan recoiled at briefings, with Nixon once mandating plan overhauls due to projected millions in casualties. But here's the ironic twist. The film's designed for haste, much like the real protocols born from fears of a disarming first strike. In today's multipolar world with 9 nuclear powers, think China's arsenal buildup or Pakistan-India tensions. That logic feels outdated, like using a rotary phone in a smartphone era.
Drawing from extensive research, including chats with Pentagon insiders and Stratcombets, the film nails eerie accuracies. The 61% GBI success rate, straight from tests, per USA Today's fact check with Oppenheim. Shooting a bullet with a bullet at Mach 25, often lower in real chaos with decoys or hacks. The Atlantic's podcast episode featuring Oppenheim and expert Tom Nichols dives deep. Submarine launches are attribution nightmares, echoing the 1995 Norwegian rocket mishap that nearly triggered Russian retaliation. Nichols warns of lopsided proliferation. US and Russia down to 1,500 deployable weapons via treaties while Asia heats up. Humorously, it's like a global game of hot potato where no one wants to drop it, but everyone's adding more spuds. And Ferguson's Tudum chat reveals her thrill in playing a normal human amid the machinery. No super spy antics, just raw vulnerability, contrasting her Dune roles. Fan reactions on X, formerly Twitter, are a wildfire of opinions mirroring the film's divisive structure. As of today, searches show a mix. Out in Oltanzi's Honklo rants, it's all foreplay, no payoff, likening the abrupt end to a power outage mid-climax. Fair point, logically, as Bigelow avoids tidy resolutions to emphasize unresolved dread, but at Oceans Apart praises the heartbreaking human moments, like Ferguson's character clutching a toy dinosaur, evoking personal stakes. Spanish-speaking fans like at Fantasia Blog 1 call it a magistral tension builder akin to 70s disaster flicks, while at the Eulorian 98 jokes the score apes Conclave too closely. Do you mean inspired by it or really like it? Yes, positive vibes from At the New Era 51 awarded 4 Alien Popkins for CGI helicopters, and Philcom's needle drops nodding to Bigelow's Cold War kid vibes. Critics echo this split. Rotten Tomatoes sits at 79% tomato meter, critics' consensus, nerve-wracking plausibility, and 76% audience score, with USA Today's Brian Truitt lauding emotional arcs, but New York Post's Sonia Oleksensky dubbing it an overcooked casserole. IMDb 7.0 out of 10 aggregates user raves for chillingly successful realism alongside gripes like half a story. Metacritic 75 out of 100 deems it generally favorable, with The Ringer's Adam Naiman critiquing its cognitive dissonance in a post-Strangelove era. Bigelow in Deadline's cover story with the cast stresses urgency. This should disarm audiences, highlighting how nuclear threats evolve from bipolar stand-ons to rogue actors and cyber vulnerabilities. Elba shares his president's affability as a deliberate foil to real-world volatility. Logically, even steady hands falter under 20-minute timers. Letts and Harris discuss stunt regrets. Bigelow nicks Terrace's jump, adding levity to the grim set. Ferguson's Instagram BTS pics show camaraderie, like her in a sharp blazer, embodying the film's blend of poise and panic. NPR's expert Divide, kudos for situation room accuracy, quibbles over plot plausibility like unattributed launches, yet, as Slate notes, it's very realistic and thus frightful, akin to Dr. Strangelove without the satire. No singing bombs here, just silent dread. Expanding on themes, the movie logically probes our illusion of control, binders of protocols, yet human infallibility reigns. Humorously, the president's quip about Supreme Court briefings being longer than nuclear ones hits home. Priorities, anyone? Nicholas's Atlantic insight, past reductions from 30,000 weapons prove progress possible, urging voters to ponder whose finger on the button. In interviews, Oppenheim hopes it sparks stockpiles talks with Trump's Golden Dome defense nod, fictional but Reagan echoing. It's timely amid 2025 elections. Similar films like How to Blow Up a Pipeline, 95% RT, or Conclave, 93%, suggest a thriller renaissance, but Bigelow's verite style, shaky cans, real-time ticks sets this apart like United 93 on steroids. Ultimately, A House of Dynamite isn't just entertainment, it's a mirror to our fragile house, built on dynamite we lit ourselves. Its flaws, repetitive acts muted, and logically amplify the message. No neat bows and nuclear roulette. If it leaves you unsettled, good, that's the point. For more on films that fuse fear with finesse, subscribe to Inside Hollywood, where we dissect the hits, misses, and everything in between. Don't miss out, your next binge depends on it.